Professor John Weens of Arizona University, an evolutionary biologist, has done a study which reveals disturbing but not surprising truths. Ian Johnson, writing for The Independent, said, "In his study published in the journal PLOS Biology, the scientist examined academic papers about 976 different species from all over the world that had been studied at least twice, once about 50 years ago and again within the last 10 years. And to quote Professor Weens, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, apologies if I'm not, quote, "In almost half the species looked at, there have been local extinctions already. This is stuff that's already happened with just a small change to the climate. We're looking at a 2 to 5-fold increase in warming over the next century. What it shows is species cannot change fast enough to keep up with a small change in climate. That's the big implication, even a small change in temperature, and they cannot handle it," end quote. So, almost half of the species studied have already gone extinct. This is a study which looked at over 700 kinds of animals and 260 plant species on 4 continents, Europe, Asia, and the Americas, North and South. Now, as far as the 6th mass extinction event on this planet goes, the professor doesn't think we are there yet, but he thinks that with inaction on climate change, or just the business as usual approach, this will take us there in perhaps 50 to 100 years. Yeah. He's not the only scientist, or indeed the only biologist, who has been giving us dire warnings. This is an enormous threat, clearly. A looming disaster, environmental catastrophe, possible wars over rapidly depleting resources, millions, tens of millions of environmental refugees, or maybe hundreds of millions. I don't know. So, it's my understanding that there have been 5 major mass extinction events in Earth's history, and many minor mass extinctions too. Major mass events: the Cretaceous Paleogene event, formerly known as the KT extinction. Then there was the Triassic-Jurassic event. Third was the Permian-Triassic event, which is the largest extinction event to date, killing between 90 and 96% of existing species. Fourth, late Devonian extinction. And fifth, Ordovician-Silurian extinction event, which was the second largest extinction event in terms of percentage of genera wiped out. Well, some are already calling this Anthropocene extinction the 6th extinction, or the Holocene extinction event. We're living in the Holocene epoch. I don't know if we can turn this around. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a man educated at the university level, but I like to think I have a layman's understanding of biology and earth science. I don't see how it can be denied in the here and now that humans are having a huge negative impact on ecosystems around the world. I've heard the term global super predator applied to us, Homo sapiens. We're a threat to almost everything, including ourselves. The degradation of the biological world is there to see. To deny this at this point is absurd. Now, I've spoken about this before in previous videos. A related concern is the possibility of mass intervention by governments or wealthy groups in the Earth's climate due to the increasing terrible effects of man-made climate change. Such ideas are already taken seriously, I can assure you. Okay, I'm going to link to a climate change discussion involving Professor Brian Cox, a man who I have a great deal of respect for. It's good educating stuff involving a few people. Yeah, please watch. And on that note, I'll bid you a fair and pleasant day, ladies and gents. See you next time.